Like wave dashes in Melee, so are the games of our lives. I just got 3 stocked, and these are the games of our lives.
Welcome everybody to the Games of Our Lives podcast. My name is Bill, along with Tony, and we're here to talk about some video games that made us who we are today. Tony, how you doing today?
Doing alright, brother. How about you?
Hey, I can't complain. I'm in the studio. We're recording a great podcast. I think we're just ready to rock and roll with it.
I think so. Yeah, I'm excited for this one.
So we're just gonna jump right into this one. We're gonna hop into the news because this has been a pretty big news heavy week for the video game world, and just especially in the last couple of days. So like these are pretty fresh. But starting with some game resale news. So recently, a copy of Super Mario RPG, Super Mario 64, sold at auction for $1.5 million.
Shoosh.
It was a condition grading 9.8 A++, which I don't know what that means, but like that just means you haven't taken it out of your grandma's basement since you played it for the first time, I'm guessing. But 1.5 mil? That's crazy, right?
Oh yeah. We can get real deep with this. But just from collecting games for so long and seeing the prices of stuff, and now with this, just the introduction of the graded stuff becoming so prevalent, it's just something's wrong. Something's up. Like I've watched games go up, and from when I started in 2014, people would say, oh yeah, in 2010 it wasn't even like this, and it's just gotten worse and worse. But now I think the bubble might pop, because that just doesn't make sense for a game that's so common. Just like I understand the intensity that a game like that brings and what it's done to video games forever, but like that number just doesn't make sense to me. It's definitely worth it.
For reference, I just pulled up pricecharting.com, and it's showing like an average price to just buy the game, like just like a loose copy of the game. You can buy it for around $20-$25.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, seems reasonable, I guess. The game's been re-released so many times by Nintendo that it's one of those games that I feel like just will not hold on to its value as much.
Yeah.
But like even on the high end, like fully graded out and everything, looks like the highest like price for like a brand new copy of the game, you're looking at about $5,500. So this $1.5 million is either the greatest tax write-off in world history, or Logan Paul just really loves Mario.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen? Now, for a little background for people who are joining in, Tony is a longtime collector of video games, and he is pretty familiar with the fluctuation of prices for a lot of games, specifically Nintendo 64 games, as he once owned the entire Nintendo 64 library.
That is true.
So, have you ever seen in your travels anything as, maybe not, obviously you haven't seen anything this egregious, but have you ever seen games that are like being like way marked up, just for the sake of?
Not
you have
not like this. No? Not like this. I've seen games. So many stores mark up games, but that's not like. No, this is just catastrophic. The thing that I'm trying to avoid in this conversation, honestly, is getting into how I think grading anything is kind of whack. But now that it's happening, I understand kind of with cards. I guess I understand with anything, but like, no matter what, it always comes down to just like the numbers don't add up, because there's very little history behind grading stuff. Like there's so few years behind it, I feel. So now you just take, a sealed game that has a value. It's just like trading cards too. You take a Pokemon card that near mint, 9 out of 10 has a value of $50, but then you pay someone to quote unquote professionally tell you that it's in really good condition, even though you already knew that, and they put it in a case, and now the number is just like, I mean, quadrupled. That's like the average that they go by. And a lot of people want more than quadruple, which just like doesn't make sense to me. And this is one of those things where now I feel like it's kind of out of hand with this one. It's like, all right, we get it. You're trying to talk about how cool grading is and how much it really changes the value of a game. Look what happened. We just because it's graded now, this $5,500 game is worth over $1 million. It's not. It's not. To me,
right?
It's
It's just straight up not.
It's not. Even in that condition, you could give me a perfect 10, and you know how much money that is? That's just like unfathomable. It's ridiculous.
I like you gotta like imagine like the person who put this up for sale, like just like the cojones on this person just being like, what do you value that as? Yeah, like throw it on and I don't know, put a value at like $1 million. They'll bid it up. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry, sir. That's right. I said start it at $1 million. What didn't you hear?
It's a me, Mario. I don't stutter. Now give daddy his money.
It's crazy too, because the last ones that sold, like, I don't know if any of them even hit six figures.
Right.
So this one, I don't know. It's all garbage. It's just, but look at how much hype is around it. About people that don't know about video games. Like now, all of us collectors, and I'm on and off, but now that I'm on and I'm watching this happen, and it's just like, I watched it with Pokemon cards. It's like, all right, let's take something that no one cares about and have it be like not that no one cares about it, but the people who don't care about it, they're going to start oversaturating an already completely oversaturated market that is trying to enjoy going to a flea market, a tag sale, a Goodwill, a Savers, a video game store. Like, all these things now are just, all right, if you want to find something, and I find good stuff, luckily, I'm thankful for that, but the people I hang out with, I go to the Nintendo section, I look at the DS, the Wii, the Wii U, and they're looking at like 360, PS2, PS3, like Neo Geo Pocket Color, like online. I'm just like, all these systems that I'm like, man, you really have to know what you're doing to be out here to find a good deal. So I think, people might try to ride it for a little bit, but there's just too many games to keep track of. It's not just like, oh, I gotta go get a Charizard or a sealed pack of Pokemon cards. Like, that number's not gonna hold up at all. Sorry, I'm babbling a lot, but I'm real passionate about this.
No, this is great. So do you think this is a move that is just made by like grading companies to be like this is just like paid advertisement saying like, hey, if you get your shit graded by us, your game that's worth $50 is now going to be worth like $250 or better. So come get graded by us. Do you think that's a more likely scenario as to why this is happening?
I can't say 100%, but that's definitely where I'd be leaning towards. Yeah.
Yeah.
But who can say for sure? Maybe there's a, obsessed Mario fan that's like, if I ever see one, just hit the lottery. It's just like, I don't care, like if I ever see one, that's over
right?
a 9.8, I'll spend whatever it takes.
Why not? I mean, even if you can get half of that, you're like, all right, I got a 9.8, I'll settle for $500,000. Like, I don't want to be greedy.
Ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. Well, we're just getting started, man. The passion is flowing.
I love it. Well, let's move on to the next story here. The next story, this was announced just a couple of days ago now. This is the Valve Steamdeck. For those who don't know, Valve is a company. They run Steam, I think, is the way that works. But they're famous for making Portal, Left 4 Dead, and Half-Life. And they're coming out with a handheld portable console that connects the entire Steam library to this handheld device. It's coming out in December. It's going to be $400. And it literally looks like a Nintendo Switch mixed with, what was that, like, handheld, like, Sega?
The Game Gear?
Yes, it looks like a Game Gear and a Nintendo Switch had a Love Baby, and now you can play Portal on it. I mean, it looks cool. It looks cool, but here's the thing. The base model's $400. You can get a, quote, exclusive Steam community profile bundle that has more storage space for $530. Or you can drop that hot $650 for a half gig storage and a anti-glare etched glass screen. What?
$650?
$650.
You know, when I pair
Just like, dog, just get the $400 one and buy a glass cover.
Yeah, when I buy glasses, it's online. It's just like $18. So like, all right, you want the UV? I'm like, no, I don't want that. And if I do, it's only like $22. It's not like an extra, like 33%.
Right. Ooh, and there is one catch to pre-ordering, by the way. If you want to pre-order, you have to pretend you're at GameStop. You got to put $5 down.
No way. Literally $5?
When it releases, you need to pay Valve $5 to reserve a spot in line to pre-order. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I think
No Wendy's for you. No Wendy's for you today.
Yeah, they you guys are gonna find out throughout this adventure. You guys are gonna find out during this adventure that there's a lot of things that old Tony hasn't played. A lot of games, a lot of good games, and I'm not saying they're not good. I know there's a beautiful world out there. But the Steam games are games that I haven't really played. Again, I'm sure they're wonderful games, but because I'm unfamiliar with them, I hear stuff like that, like a Steam Deck coming out for $400, and the fact they're really just like on their high horses, it seems like, and I'm sure they have a lovely fan base, and they're just like, oh yeah, we support them, we'll buy this, it's gonna be great, and I'm sure it probably will be great, but it just seems like their noses are like real high, just like, yeah, you have to pre-order. Maybe it's for a good reason, not saying it's not, but like, and it's more money, and it's like over 33%. I just overthought that, like $650 from like 400. Like, if you want to, oh, I really support them, I really want the best one, that, like, who are you joking right now? Like Nintendo wouldn't do that, and they're way better than you, like, not saying like better, but like just bigger as a company and just like more successful. They wouldn't.
I'm worried Nintendo's gonna take notes
what are you
on this
talking
pricing.
about? No, they're not. They're actually, and all of the stuff that Nintendo does that I don't like, I don't think they're just like, I think they're just looking at them
they're
and
not
laughing.
They're definitely not known for like price gouging on their hardware, that's for sure.
Yeah, luckily they just make a million
feel like
different
Nintendo-
pieces of hardware.
Right, and then they just release a different version of that hardware every 3 years, and the most dedicated people will purchase it.
Exactly, and they're
looking at you, Switch OLED. So we got one more piece of news to talk about, and this is probably, not only is it perfect timing for this episode, it is maybe one of the most hilarious things to come out of the last couple of years video game wise. We're talking about the one, the only Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, which is a Super Smash Brothers like game starring all of the current and past Nickelodeon superstar characters. Like, the roster is absolutely, just from the trailer alone, the roster is absolutely loaded. Like, you've got SpongeBob, you've got Helga Pataki, you've got the Ninja Turtles, which I forgot up until a couple of days ago that they were even a Nickelodeon property at this point in time. What are your thoughts on this game, Tony?
Dude, I'm hype. And before I even say anything about how I feel about it, when you name drop stuff, like right when you said, gotta talk about this, very important. Nickelodeon's All Star Brawl. It's just like it hits so hard that I wish we had like a sound effect. I think I'm just gonna start going like yo like right after, because it's just like it's such a hype drop when you say stuff like that, and I feel like it just needs to be like really accentuated how big. You're just real good at what you do, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm hyped for this game.
Thanks, man. Oh my god, me too. Do you have like a dream character that hasn't been announced yet that you think deserves to be in All Star Brawl, or a couple of characters that like should be like can't miss options?
Basically, like all the characters that were in Nicktoons Racing for Game Boy Color are like staples of this game, including like Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life.
I gotta look at this Nicktoons Racing roster now.
Like Angry Beavers, Rocco. I don't even think Rocco was in it. SpongeBob was in it. Keep going. Sorry, cut you off.
Rocco's not in it. Actually, most of the people that are in this, at least like that franchise is represented in the game. So like we got Reptar, which is like, all right, I watched the video with Tony about 10 minutes before recording. Tony popped off when Reptar came on screen.
First time I had ever seen this video. Dude, that you're talking S tier characters out of all TV shows ever, and you just get to fight with them. Like,
I just hope like some of the stages are like absolutely incredible. Like, I'm hoping that they really go deep into the Nickelodeon lore and like you get to fight in like the Legends of the Hidden Temple with like Olmec as like a boss or something like that would be insane. Also using Face as a level.
Face?
Like his mouth is the platform. Remember Face from Nick Jr.?
I remember Face, yeah.
And like if somebody gets KO'd, he just does like that little chuckle.
Aw, that is such like a Picto Chat equivalent. Just like, but way better.
Oh my! Like it's so perfect.
Face. Wow.
I'm hoping that they bring in like a rocket power character.
Ooh.
Like
yeah.
I just want to dunk on somebody as the Squid.
The Squid.
Like the Squid would be great. Like Jimmy Neutron's dad is a popular pick that I've seen online.
I was real happy that they said Nigel Thornberry. Like they won't let go of Wild Thornberry.
That is absolutely like a money meme pick too.
Is it?
Like you can't not love that pick.
No, yeah. And all the characters too from that show, they definitely put him in there on purpose.
Then you get like, it'd be great if like they put in like Dora the Explorer and she just like looks out at the screen and goes, "Should I let them live?" "No? Okay." And just absolutely obliterates somebody.
In the living room of like Full House. That's the map.
Oh my god. Uncle Joey is one of the fighters.
This is so ridiculous. Like when I see that, let's just talk about this real quick. Like first I see this is a thing. I'm like, alright, I've seen things like this. There's a Cartoon Network like Punch Time Explosion thing for the Wii, which is Smash Brothers, but like weird, but this, like, first I just see a Ninja Turtle and I'm like, alright, this is kind of confusing, but then after that, and I know you love them, so it's not bad at all. I'm happy they're in it. I think it's really cool that they're in it, but then it just like completely snowball affected into like if they just were like smash after smash with these characters. It's like, of course SpongeBob's in it, but like Invader Zim with Gur next to him, like Rosalina and Luma, and then oh man, it was just like them. Who else did I pop off? Reptar I popped off. Like, that was just ridiculous.
You popped off on Reptar, yeah.
Nigel Thornberry, yeah, this
like,
is crazy.
I'm surprised that like Squidward wasn't an announced character.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he, like if you have the other three, like Squidward just has to be there. You have to assume like the Avatar a couple of Avatar characters are going to be there. Like you probably,
yeah, I didn't even think about that.
like I think Korra's silhouette is on the box art.
Oh, really? This game is gonna be so hype. I swear this game is good. And it looks like Smash Ultimate. I honestly think so. We didn't even talk about that like at all, but I think that it's gonna like they just took Ultimate and we're like, all right, we can't put all these Nickelodeon characters into it, so let's just like make our own with just these characters. And I think they must like stolen some people from Smash's working staff, because like it looks like it hits like the same way. The hit lag, like the move sets, like a lot of it looks real similar. I'm so hyped.
Yeah, oh my god, it's gonna be so good. And a lot of the top Smash personalities have already been like absolutely hyping this game up. It's gonna be absolutely ridiculous, and I just can't wait. I don't think a date is attached to this yet, but I mean, I can't wait for Keenan and Kel to be announced. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, kablam!
Literally, you could play as Stickly. Who knows?
Prometheus and Bob.
Yo, I'm waiting for the Crimson Chin to show up.
This game,
like the options are the potential is absolutely like insane.
Wow. And it's cool too, because I always like going through my like old school TV history with my friends, and we're like, so yeah, Nickelodeon had like this and that, and Cartoon Network had these, these were all good shows and stuff. But when they do stuff like this, it really makes you remember, like, and really think about the lineup of shows that certain stations had when we were much younger.
Oh my god, yeah.
Been a good
and now
life.
like that's what, and this is like huge because this is gonna get people watching those old shows. Because you're going to see a lot of like younger people, who video games are typically made for. They're going to be like, whoa, like Nickelodeon. I love Nickelodeon. And then they're going to be like, I've never heard of 80% of these characters. And their parents are going to be like, oh, strap in. It's Ren and Stimpy time. Time to ruin your childhood the way mine was. Oh my god! Now I'm thinking of like just like the items that are going to be if this game even has items.
Yeah.
Like straight up just like log from Ren and Stimpy. Like, oh my god!
Log.
Like a baby bottle from Rugrats. Like, this game's going to be insane.
Tom.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, this is going to be nuts.
So that is going to be Nickelodeon Smash Bros. And that's perfect because this week, the game that we're going to be talking about, the series that we're going to be talking about, is the Super Smash Brothers series. We're really we're going big on this one.
Ba, 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 ba. That's the sound effect I was thinking about using when you did the name drop.
It's a pretty good one. I like that. I like that.
Think that'll stick?
I mean, I can try to isolate it and find out later.
I'll do different ones throughout the episodes, and we'll have to. You guys at home, let us know. Ha ha ha. Anyway, sorry. Keep going.
That's what YouTube comments are for.
Yeah, that is.
So basically, the way that we're gonna do this, it's gonna be similar to the way we did it last week, where we're talking about the franchise, and we're gonna go through each of the installments, touch on them a little bit, say what we liked, what we didn't like, what was added, and stuff like that, and just kind of briefly touch on them and kind of give our thoughts on the franchise as a whole at the end. And what better way to start than with the granddaddy of them all for the Nintendo 64? We're talking about Super Smash Brothers. That was a great sound effect.
Thank you.
So this franchise, it's just over 20 years old now. It dropped in 1999. This is actually the only Super Smash Brothers game that I didn't own at launch. This is a Nintendo franchise game that took 12 iconic characters, put them on a traditional fighting style map, and they just duked it out. It's easily one of Nintendo's biggest franchises to date, and for good reason, because it's incredible. And who can forget the iconic commercial for the original Super Smash Brothers? Do you remember that?
I was just thinking about it. Yeah, I was gonna mention it. It was just Pikachu, Yoshi, Mario, and Donkey Kong. I think were the four, and they were just literally like beating the crap out of each other in this really nice field of flowers with like nice music playing, and yeah, just
Now,
go ahead. It's so ahead of its time.
so it's a live action. It's people in basically mascot costumes of these characters.
I should have said that.
And it's live action, and they're literally just, I think it starts out with them just like frolicking.
They are frolicking. I did a horrible
They're
job.
like frolicking, and then like out of nowhere, is it like Yoshi chooses violence? He like grabs a hammer and just like beams somebody.
I think he trips someone.
Oh, that's what it like. There was like a little thing, and then it just escalated into an absolute just nightmare. And they're like, "Buy this game, guys."
That's all I needed as a kid. You know, I'm pretty sure
Sold.
when I got my N64, it was like Smash was the first game I got, and I got them on the same day for I forget which holiday it was or when it came out exactly, but that commercial was like life changing. Like when I was a kid and just so into games, like I saw that and I was like, there is no question, like I have to have that, you know?
Oh my god, yes. And there were a couple of like mini game modes too. They had break the targets and board the platforms. And I don't know that they've ever brought back board the platforms, but god, I wish they did. But just to recap on the series, Super Smash Brothers is a 2D fighting game or a party game, depending on who you ask, where players attack each other and they rack up damage, and once a character has enough damage on them, they fly off the stage and they lose a life or a stock. That's basically the gist of the game. Whoever gets the most kills or has, the remaining lives at the end wins. Any other thoughts on like the original Super Smash Brothers? I mean, it was so iconic.
It was, I as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I have this crazy smile on my face, so lame, but like I think it was so ahead of its time to take an idea of not having a health bar and having that get depleted to 0 and then you lose, but rather rack up damage, and the more that you have, the harder it is for you to, like the easier it is for you to get knocked off the stage and like get, blown off into the blast zones and stuff, or just like fall. Just like that is so ahead of its time, and to like come out with that for the N64, it was like, I know a lot of people still love it competitively and just love that game in general, but like they really came on with a good idea, and then I got a segue with it, but like then Melee just perfected it. Perfected that game.
What's the craziest thing to me? Melee came out only 2 years after the original.
Is that true? Really?
Melee came out in 2001 for the GameCube. I want to say it was either a launch title for the GameCube or it like came out like just after launch. Yeah, and so there's only like a 2-year turnaround, which is absolutely insane to ask of a game developer right now, especially coming off of Super Smash Brothers, one of the best games for the Nintendo 64 period. But Melee is the sequel, came out for the GameCube, had a larger roster, and it still stuck with the classic Nintendo characters. I don't think anybody was not a Nintendo character in this game, but they had a lot more unlockable characters, which was really cool. And they had a mode that it was called Adventure Mode, and you got to like play through different like level scenarios of represented games in the franchise, and that was really cool. They had the home run contest too, I think. Mm-hmm. And let's be real, the Melee introduced my favorite Smash character of all time, Ganondorf.
Ooh.
I mean, he's terrible. He is just not a good fighter in almost any of the games, but I love him so much. He's so fun to play as.
One, you're mispronouncing Mewtwo, and two, to the OG listeners, no, just kidding. I actually jump in the gun, but Ganondorf's the only character I have ever gotten Elite with in Smash Ultimate, and I've never was a Ganondorf player ever until.
Oh my god, that's so
Ultimate.
funny.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. I think Melee is the greatest fighting game of all time. I'm just gonna come out and say it. And they did everything.
I mean,
right.
Melee has more support after 20 years than basically any other Super Smash Brothers game. I feel like the meta is constantly evolving, and it's just insane how this game is so loved and so competitive that it is basically the definitive Super Smash Brothers, even though there's been 3 iterations since. And I mean, there's like debate amongst that, but I mean, like asking people today if you're stacking up Melee against Brawl or Smash 4, I feel like people still go Melee.
Normally, I like the newest thing. Well, maybe that's not true. It's actually very false. All right, everyone forget I said that. Let's try the sentence again. Yeah, Melee's way better than 3 and 4, I would say. I hope a lot.
And
of
the crazy
people
thing
agree.
is, while Melee is better than the other 2 games, those other 2 games are still incredible.
You think so?
Like, I don't think there's all right. I think from a casual perspective, there's no such thing as a bad Smash Brothers game.
Good point. Well said.
For people who play it competitively, they're gonna have their qualms. Brawl was just an objectively broken game, and we might as well move on to Brawl next. Brawl is the 3rd installment in Super Smash Brothers. Came out 2008 for the Wii, so there was a 7-year gap between releases, which is pretty big gap, honestly. The longest gap between releases in the franchise. But this was the first game that had Wi-Fi, so this is the first Smash Brothers game where you could fight against friends and randoms over the internet, and that was kind of insane. It expanded the roster to 39 characters, which is 15 or 13 more than the last one. And it had a huge, fully fleshed out adventure mode, and it had one of the most broken characters in fighting game history. And for whatever reason, this is one of the last fighting games to come out, like especially on the Wii, that didn't have patch updates. So when it was released, Nintendo was like, we're done. There are no patches, so if a character's broken, they are just going to remain broken. So in the competitive scene, you had Meta Knight, who is a character from the Kirby franchise, who just literally just outclassed every other character. And if you were halfway decent with Meta Knight, you could outplay people who are like way better relatively to other characters. But since you were Meta Knight, you're basically like untouchable. You could fly under most stages. Your moves had all priority. It was just kind of silly. But Brawl did something incredible. Brawl introduced third-party characters to Smash. Brawl needs to be thanked for setting that up, because Brawl gave us Sonic the Hedgehog and Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. That was insane. Like, that was absolutely insane.
Yeah, that was big. When they got Sonic in the game, I was pretty hyped for that.
And Brawl also introduced something not necessarily related to being in the game, but it introduced the toxic hype cycle of Super Smash Brothers, because there was a website called Smash Dojo back in 2006, 7, 8, like the months leading up to launch for Brawl, and every day they would post something new about the game, either a screenshot, an item reveal, a character reveal. So every day, like, you would learn something new, and they just drip fed it this whole time. You would learn about new characters and stuff like that, and people like lost their minds when like Sonic and Snake were both announced, because it just like people were just like, wait, what? Like, this is Nintendo. This is not what? are like people already like were thinking ahead of Brawl, and people were like, if they can do Sonic and Snake, what do you think the next Smash Brothers is gonna have? That's when Nintendo went weird with Smash Brothers rosters. A few years later, literally Brawl had a short life, because the next title, which is a two game situation. You had Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 3DS and Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo Wii U. Both came out in 2013, 14? Oh, so it's a little longer. Sorry, they were revealed in 2011. 2014 they were released, and it was two different games with identical rosters for the most part, at least at launch. Identical rosters at launch. They had some differences in levels. There were some levels that were exclusive to the 3DS that pertained to like 3DS games, some levels that were exclusive to the Wii U that weren't 3DS games. But this game also, this is the first game that they took away fighters, I believe. Yeah, RIP to the Ice Climbers for sure. But this is also the first game to introduce DLC. Continuing the toxic hype cycle. Now, people really liked Super Smash Bros. Wii U compared to Brawl, because the main complaint people had with Brawl was that it wasn't enough like Melee. In the way that it played, Melee is a very fast-paced game, where Brawl is a much slower. The characters are much more like floaty. It is pretty night and day playing the games. Smash Bros. Wii U felt like they took the Brawl engine or they took like the Melee engine and updated the graphics to be more Brawl-like. It wasn't a huge graphical upgrade from the Wii to the Wii U, but it was a big enough change where people were like, okay, like this is pretty good. They got rid of tripping, which was a feature in Brawl, where a player would just fall down for no reason. But it also introduced the concept of rage, and rage is a somewhat invisible meter that each character has. The more damage your character has, the more knockback their moves have when they perform them. So if you're at 0% damage and you're at 100% damage and you use like a strong attack, if you're at 100%, you'll send the other person flying further than you would if you were at 0%. So it's kind of like a comeback mechanism, really. But it turned everybody into Lucario. So RIP to the boy. What are your thoughts on? Did you play the 3DS Wii U Smash?
Yeah. I'm just like trying to make heads or tails of everything in my head, because the fact that Melee came out only 2 years after N64 is just going to like that level of gameplay is just. I just want to put this in perspective. I've put hundreds and hundreds, I can't say thousands, maybe, but I don't think so, hundreds and hundreds of hours into Melee, and I'm still like very low on like a 1 to 10, like compared to some people. Like I can't go to a competitive tournament and like really hang around, like that game is just, there's a lot of stuff in there I don't even know if they put in there on purpose, but just the way it was built, like for such a short duration of time since the first iteration came out, and then it took 7 years and Brawl came out, and like what?
It was a downgrade.
Yeah, it took that long, and then that's what they came up with. Like it was so darn slow, and I think you're exactly right. When the Wii U and the 3DS one came out, it wasn't as good as Melee, but it was like, all right, a little better. This is playable if we're talking like current stuff and what could come. I like being up with the newest stuff. I think back then I thought that. I was like, all right, well, it's the newest thing. It has to be the best. And as you get older, you kind of realize it's not always true necessarily, but you still want to be hip. And like, I don't know, before Slippy Dolphin came out and you could just play Melee online, you're like playing, like, I want to play online, and like the Wii Online was horrendous. Like it was very laggy.
Awful.
It was not good at all. Might as well not even have had it, but this was when you could finally play a game that you really liked as a kid, like I found it like with like Mario Kart 64 and just all, N64 and GameCube
Yeah.
stuff. Like Xbox had Xbox Live, like you had PlayStation like Network and stuff. It's like I want to play these games online, and I think Smash 4 and 3DS, it was like finally these games that I love more than a lot of other games, finally I could enjoy them like competitively and see like the passion that other people bring to these games because they really enjoy them too. I thought it was a good game. I thought it's either, before we talk about Ultimate, it's, I don't know if that's better than, I would say it's better than the 64 version, but like, there is none of that without the 64 version. But yeah, right now I think the list is like Melee, Smash, Wii U, and 3DS. We'll just call them one game, and then 64, and then Brawl. I put a lot of hours into Brawl, don't get me wrong, but I don't know.
Right. For a game that I talk a lot of smack on, I probably have more hours in Brawl. No, it's Melee first, and then Brawl. Brawl is probably like the second most. I have the second most hours in of any Super Smash Brothers game. So before people are saying like we hate this game, like the only Smash Brothers game that I've ever gone to competitive situations with, I've been to a couple of tournaments for Brawl, and that was the only game that I've ever tried to compete in. But I played as Ganondorf, so.
I remember Brawl tournaments. I played in a couple. Actually, years later, I played Brawl tournaments when it was current, but then a few years ago, and we're recording this in 2021, so probably like 2018 or 19, probably 19, I want to say. I actually went to a Melee tournament. We were like working at a con one time, and it was a really bad con. I'm not going to say the name of it, but it was so bad that I was like, can I just leave my vending booth to my partner because there's a Melee tournament? And he's like, yeah, like no one's coming. So there were like 16 or 18 people in this Melee tournament that the event was like running, and I won. I won the tournament, and if there was anyone that actually played Melee like halfway competitively, they would have beat me. But there's one pretty good Mario kid, but it was my friend and I and him, and and I won, and my friend got second, and I got a gift card to the store. I'm just gonna keep talking about myself.
Oh no! Something similar happened with me actually. So when Smash 4 came out, GameStop did a midnight release for it. They had a pre-release Smash tournament where you would get an amiibo for winning. Did they have amiibos for Smash for the Wii U? I think they did. They had to have.
I think so. I think they did.
I think so.
Well, yeah, Yoshi's Woolly World came out, and that was for the Wii U, and that was all the Yarn amiibos.
So yes, it was. The prize was an amiibo. It was like either a Link or a Mario amiibo, and my friend Matt and I went to the GameStop, and it was a Melee tournament. So I went in as Ganondorf, and I got to like the semifinals, and I lost in the semifinals. Matt was on the other half of the bracket and ended up just winning the whole thing. And literally, it was like not even a competition. It was just like him just dunking on these kids using using Link for half of it, and Link is like terrible in the game. And then I think he switched up to Falco for the finals and just like disrespected everybody. I was like, all right.
Wow. And no, that was
this is my friend.
And that was before the game came out?
So it was at the release for the Smash 4 game, but the tournament was a Melee tournament.
Oh, it was literally a Melee tournament? Oh,
it was literally a Melee tournament at the Smash 4 release.
Oh, yeah, he's insane at that game. Yeah, that's not fair.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he just absolutely dunked on kids.
Wow. I want to play you guys in Melee. Let's stop. All right, the podcast is over. Thanks for coming. We gotta go play some Super Smash Brothers.
Oh my god. So yeah, Smash is just so good and so important to us.
Yeah, it's been with us our whole lives.
I mean, and we were pumped because we were bummed. So back to the DLC, we were pretty bummed about Smash 4 with its state of affairs with the roster. Felt like it was kind of like a lateral to backwards step for Smash Brothers. But then there was a little light shine through, and Nintendo said, "Here, have Mewtwo back."
Hey.
And I mean, they announced Mewtwo for Smash, which, if you know Tony and I, we both popped off. We were pounding the table for Mewtwo real hard. And then they also, some other notable characters that they announced for DLC and ended up releasing. They gave us back Roy from Melee. They gave us Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII, which at the time was absolutely like a bonkers insane move. This was more hype, I think, than like the Sonic the Hedgehog reveal for Brawl. I think having Cloud come to Smash, people were just like absolutely floored by that.
He came in Smash 4?
He was DLC in Smash 4, yeah.
Was he really? Why do I not? I'm
Yep.
just... All these games are really blending together, and it doesn't help that, like, now I'm, like, thinking about this Nickelodeon one. Now, like, my head's all messed up. To tell you the truth.
And then they also released SpongeBob as the final DLC for Smash 4, and it was insane.
What?
No, it was Bayonetta. No, it was Bayonetta, and Bayonetta actually ruined the competitive scene. Because they made Bayonetta so good, and like Bayonetta could just like auto kill several characters with certain combos, and it was just kind of silly. So Nintendo said, "We're done with this game. Time to come out with Smash for the Nintendo Switch," because nobody wanted the Wii U. The Wii U was just a disaster.
Love it. One of my favorite consoles.
One of the best ones.
I really do like it.
The games for it are great.
Mario Kart 8.
Oh my god!
Mario
Literally,
3D World.
Nintendo Land with Mario Hide and Seek.
Yeah.
That game was broken. It was so good. It was so good.
What's the one that I liked that I played with you that one time? Mario Chase or something? Or is it hide and seek?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Oh,
Mario
Chase?
Chase, where you play it. It's so good. Oh man, like Nintendo, if you're listening, and I know you are, get a hold of Reggie. Bring him back. Step 2, release Mario Chase as its own game. I will pay $60 for that mini game. Just do it. Just do it. Like, it was that good. But we digress. 2018 comes around. The Nintendo Switch is the hot new kid on the block. And bada bing, bada boom, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is announced and released. The tagline for this game is, quote, "Everybody's here." That is the whole thing. Every single character that's ever been in a Smash Brothers game is in this game. There are new characters that are announced for this game, like Ridley from Metroid, which is a character people have been pounding the table for, King K. Rool from Donkey Kong, and then they announced that not only are you guys getting these 80-some-odd characters, we're also going to have 2 rounds of DLC, which brought up kind of like one of the most fascinating periods of time in Smash Brothers history to me, because the speculation for characters being revealed for this game has been so insane online, so absolutely toxic in the most entertaining way possible. Everybody has an opinion on the DLC. It's so good. The game, it's like the DLC is like fine too. Like the DLC is great. Like what they're doing with it, like I love it. Oh my god! Like they gave us everybody. They gave us Banjo and Kazooie. They gave us Sephiroth. I mean, if they gave us anybody else, like they already gave us too much. Like we don't deserve what we get. The current Fighters Pass, which is the final Fighters Pass, is coming to an end this year. I think the last fighter is going to be released like holiday time, so figure like December 2021. And they've announced every character except for the final character. And they've released some wild characters. Steve from Minecraft, a character from Dead Franchise Arms. Like, they really got it all here. Tony.
Who do I think is going to be the last character?
Yeah, we should talk about who we want and who we think it's going to be. But who do you want? Lay it on me.
Who do I want? Well, first of all, I just want to say everything you said is spot on. And they crushed it out of the park with how how above and beyond they've gone with getting characters from different companies into this game. Like, for me, Sonic was such a big deal, Pac-Man was such a big deal, and now it is just like they made sure to get every character they've ever had, plus more characters like the Splatoon, like the Inklings, just like good Nintendo characters that they think that should be in there, and then just to all the third-party characters, like face characters from like fighting games. You know what I mean? Like they got those characters into this game. Like how the hell
they got the main fighter from like just about every fighting series.
Yeah,
in this game.
Like that.
Like you have Ken and Ryu. You have the guy that from Tekken, Kazuya, just came into the game. You got Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury, which is cool if you understand if you ever heard of that game. I was never a big fighting game kid growing up, you know.
Me either, but like
I'm happy.
This is
like I'm happy for those people.
Oh yeah, like it's just, if nothing else, like, and it's not just one or two of them. Like they got a bunch, and I'm happy. I don't know. Hopefully, players could like enjoy those characters in this game. But I have to say, if nothing else, it's one of the coolest things that a game or company has like ever done. You know, like I just can't believe how many characters they've got in this game.
Like a crossover of this scale, like this game is deserving of the title Ultimate, because it is straight up just everything. It's everything that any like. First of all, it's like mechanically, it's right up there with Melee.
The game's good. The game is very soundly good. Like it's not
right, it's
as
incredible
good as Melee, but it's definitely second best. Definitely.
I'd call it a 1A, 1B, and it comes down to just preference.
That's fair.
Like I think I lean Smash Ultimate, but I respect Melee. But dang, like Melee only had 26 characters. We're already pushing triple digits here.
It's insane. It's absolutely insanity.
So that being said, who's the last one?
See,
who's gonna make it everybody?
I want one character, and I've wanted one character, and I know it's not gonna be this character, but I want it to be Bomberman. That's my guy. That's my day one. If Sonic's kind of my day one too. He's in there, but in Little Mac. But yeah, Bomberman is one of my favorites ever, up there with Pokemon, up there with Halo. Like I love Bomberman, and yeah, I think he'd be a sick character.
I love that pick. I think the character that I think would be a perfect final character to add to this roster that would just like put it over the top and solidify it as like this is an ultimate collection of gaming history. I think if they brought in Master Chief, it would be just in like I don't think that you could have a more hype release if like you tried. Like I think Master Chief would be the ultimate final character to have. He's like the missing piece to this roster.
Wow, I can't disagree. I picture him like with like dual SMGs from like Halo 2, just like in a fighter stance, and he's just like, oh man, that'd be wild. I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
Like holding the sword or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's his mate. Oh, it'd be sick. Oh, it'd be so sick.
Like the only other character I think that you could really like get away with, like, all right, this is like the final roster character. Like maybe somebody from Mortal Kombat.
Wow, that'd be pretty
like, I
insane.
think, like if they're like, yeah, Sub-Zero or like Raiden.
Yeah,
like, I think it'd have to be Sub-Zero.
Yeah,
like Sub-Zero or Scorpion. It'd have to be one of those two guys. I think that would be absolutely insane too, just to like round out all the fighting games.
Yeah.
So I think if it's Master Chief or Sub-Zero, I think those would be like my most like desired characters for like what would make sense in my brain.
I love them.
But that doesn't mean we can't wish for more though, guys. Those are people that we think are going to be getting in or want to be getting in, but who else would you want to get in, Tony?
Actually,
in a perfect game, in a perfect world.
In my perfect world, or in just...
Yeah, in your perfect world. Who's getting in besides Bomberman?
I don't know. You said the both that you mentioned are so good. You know, I would love to see Master Chief in there, but it's so hard to tell. You know, because they've thrown so many different curveballs, and I actually made a short list of who I think potential characters that could get in are.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just a short one, yeah, of a couple, because it's just like, you know, they threw so many different... I didn't ever expect them to get, you know, Cloud. Yeah, I didn't even know he was in... I forgot he was in Smash 4. Like, just all the different IPs and stuff. So it just makes me think, like, wow, there are definitely a few possibilities of different characters that could be in this game if you want me to, you know, read it off to you.
Yeah. That sounds awesome, dude.
Oh, alright. Well... Alright, here it is. Toe Jam and Earl, the Butt Ugly Martians, Alexander the Great, Rocky Balboa, Hamtaro, My Cousin Skeeter, the Bimbo Bear, Power Rangers, Homer Simpson, Colin Kaepernick, Gordon Ramsay, Pocahontas, Aunt Jemima, Jerry Seinfeld, Jolly Green Giant, Phineas and Ferb, Dominic the Donkey, Bob from Bob's Burgers, the entire competing line of the 2014 Kentucky Derby, Oswald Franklin, Little Bear, Kevin Garnett, Mama Celeste, Steve Urkel, Steve Irwin, Brian Urlacher, Too Cool to Fool, Chester Cheetah, Huevos Rancheros, Fred Flintstone, Terminator, Lemonhead, a Spike Lee joint, a Michael Phelps joint, Cuphead, Tony Montana, Bruce Banner, Bruce Buffer, Bruce Bowen, Shovel Knight, Dynamite Heady, Mike Tyson Mysteries' very own Mike Tyson, a Chrysler Sebring, just the car, Radiohead, Willy Wonka, Pink Guy, Green Guy, Red Man, Method Man, Methodical Morphositic, Menicitis, John Stamos, Echo the Dolphin, Arthur, Dr. House, The General, Gadget Twins, Beavis and Butthead, Sir Duke, Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, Michael, ABCDEFGHIJKLMNOPQRSTUVWZ, Jordan, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Yugi Moto, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Fischer, Vitas, Taxi Driver, Form, Rob De Niro, Dewey, Harvey Birdman, Cooking Mama, Wetzels, Pretzels, Orange Julius, Pugsy, The Icy Bear, Hannibal Lecter, Commander Video, Our Real Monsters, Captain Planet, The Blues Brothers, Glover, Chibi Robo, The Affleck Duck, Eldrick Taunt Woods, Jigsaw, and finally, The Dancing Lobsters.
Yo, Pocahontas would be fire though. I'm in fucking tears right. Oh my god, that. Oh my, that was the most beautiful list I've ever heard in my life. I just want a game with those characters. Like, to hell with everybody. I want that list. I want a Chrysler Sebring facing the Dancing Lobsters right now. Like, what the hell?
This is the first time he's ever heard this list. He didn't know that. I told him before I had, like, a little list coming, but he had no idea it was going to be this.
Like, I thought it was going to be, like, 5 or 6 names or something, and they were going to be, like, kind of, like, just, like, meme pics or whatever, but I didn't expect him to just drop, like, this... Oh, my... John Stamos? Like, how did Nintendo mess up and not put him in the first place?
I'm saying, but see, here's the thing: the list got damaged a little bit because until we had our pre-podcast phone call, I didn't even know about that Nickelodeon All-Star game. So I had like SpongeBob, I had like a couple characters, you know, or like not like Oswald the Ugly Martians. Like, thank God they didn't say any of that. But like, yeah, definitely SpongeBob, and I think there was someone else too. But I had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the list. I was like, man, that's... Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, my God. Oh, God, that's so beautiful. Oh. Oh, man. When you said... I lost it. I lost it when you said Colin Kaepernick. I like started crying. I literally, tears started coming out of my face when I was just like, I'm done. I'm done. Like, this has me just... Oh, my God. It is the most perfect list that could possibly ever exist. Oh my God.
Thank you. It's, you know, it's so pure because we don't go into crazy detail when we figure out what the podcast is going to have in it, but I did say I have a small joke I want to throw in. I'm going to list off a bunch of characters I think that would potentially be a fit for the game, and when I'm done, I want you to wait, like, if you think it's funny, of course, just wait like 3 or 4 seconds and then be like, actually kind of like Pocahontas. Yeah, it's a good pick. But like I just like I thought my headphones were messing up because you were just like cracking like so bad. Just trying not to cry. I'm like, oh, is he like what's happening? And then like the way you said it was perfect.
I God, that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Folks, if you're listening on YouTube, let us know in the comments below who you'd want out of either your own personal list or Tony's list for Smash.
You may have to go back and listen to it, but your favorite will probably stand out,
Absolutely. I'm just gonna give that whole list a tip of the hat, by the way.
Appreciate you.
Oh my god. And man, so that's really that really is Super Smash Brothers in a nutshell. Do you have any other thoughts just like on the franchise as a whole?
It's a beautiful creation that's given me endless hours of fun and anger with friends and with strangers and by myself. And I think the franchise has come a long way, and it's been a golden gem from the start, with a little down slope with Brawl, which I still enjoyed, but now I feel like it's okay to talk a lot of trash about it. But just one of the best series of all time, I think. I feel comfortable saying that.
The idea just of having characters from multiple franchises interact with each other in a single game at the time in 1999 was mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you never would have thought of Pikachu and Yoshi duking it out. And now here we are, 20 plus years later, and we've got Sephiroth fighting Banjo-Kazooie and Pac-Man. Like, what is going on? The franchise has just come such a long way from like an inclusivity standpoint. The fact that there's almost 100 fighters in this game is just like absolutely incredible. And I feel like I barely have played Ultimate, but when I looked at my Switch, which keeps track of how many hours you put into a game, I'm like at like 150, almost like between 150 and 200 hours.
Wow.
Playing this game, which is a lot of hours for a game for me to be that bad at. And I'm gonna blame Ganondorf because I'm just gonna say Ganondorf's bad, and that's why I'm bad, and I'm not gonna take responsibility and say I don't put in the time. That'd be silly.
Yeah, you're fine. I mean, we should Ganondorf mirror because I feel like he is very bad.
Ganondorf mirrors are probably the most fun mirror to watch, though, because they have the potential to be the most like one-sided just nightmare.
Oh yeah, I think that's why I liked them.
Right, it's just chaos. It's just chaos in a bottle, and like anybody could just do anything at any time. It's so fun.
Yeah, the thing about Ultimate is I'm also pretty bad at it. And I was trying all these different characters. I was like, all right, I'll just be like Fox from Melee. It's got to be like Melee, or I'll try Lucario, or I'm like, oh, Greninja, Little Mac I played in Smash 4, all these characters, and I wasn't having success with any of them, and I was like, man, Ganondorf literally just like, you side B, you down tilt, you forward smash, or you like wait until they jump, and then like forward or up smash, and like that is a stock, and I'm like, if I could learn how to do those, I could just like get like a little bit better, and hitting elite for me. Oh, that was an Instagram post. I was really I was like fiending to get elite with one character, and I did, and I lost it. I got it back once or twice, and like I never got elite with anybody else. And now like I can hang with Ganon, but like characters that just like Link will like destroy me, but.
Yeah. Anybody that has like a projectile, you're just done.
A single one, and you're just screwed.
It's Like, get out of here, freaking Simon Belmont. Stop hurting my feelings.
I don't know how to play. It's just there's the only bad side is just like too much going on. Like with the characters, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
My old man hands can't keep up.
Listen, I don't even want to like that. You have like almost too many options. So I literally, if I'm not playing as Ganon, I usually just stick it on random, and I'm like, you know what, decide for me, game, because this is. Listen, I feel like I'm at the freaking Cheesecake Factory of Smash games. The menu's too big, too many options. I don't know what to pick for myself. I'm just a little dumb baby. You pick for me.
You're just like, you got it, Olimar, and you're like, out of all the characters that I don't know how to use.
Right, it'll give me like, yeah, exactly, like Olimar, and I'll be like, oh wait, no, I meant a character that I do like.
Yeah, all right, here's Zelda. She's great, but I don't know what to do.
They're like, here, be Mega Man. And I'm like, oh, this is where I die. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Mega Man's in the game. Oh, my. This game is... There's no other game or anything even close to this game. Like, there's no other game ever that's been able to replicate Cloud throwing a Pokeball down. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like... no other game has ever done that. Like... Oh, I forgot.
I mean, the game
Castle
even has
Crashers
freaking Mario, for God's sake.
Yeah, right! Charles Martinet!
Like, the king. The king!
Give me your best Mario impression. Right now.
Okay, do you want, like... I'll just... this is my Mario 64 impression. It's me, Mario!
That was very good. That was very good.
Hey, thanks.
That was
What's
really
yours?
good.
Let's hear yours.
It's me, Mario. What do you think?
That was a good try. That was pretty good.
What do you mean it's a good try? Didn't sound like him?
Sounded like Mario, but he didn't have the accent. You didn't give him that like Italian accent. Like, I'm gonna do Luigi's just so you got like a point of reference here. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's me, Luigi, baby. Give me all your spaghettis. That's how Luigi sounds.
That's how he sounds?
Yeah, that's what he sounds like.
Oh.
When you get all 120 stars, you unlock Luigi.
That's crazy. They must have changed the voice actor from Luigi's Mansion then, because that one sounded a little different.
What? You sure he didn't just run around the mansion going, "Hey, Mario! Hey, come on, capiche? I'm over this."
That is just a perfect impression of a Polish guy.
Oh my gosh.
No, that is spotless. Hey, Mario! It's so aggravated. It's perfect. Wow. Tip of the hat.
Thanks, man.
Tip of my hat for that. That broke me. I was like, alright, he's going to say that, and I'm going to have to be, like, quick on my toes to, like, follow up, and I was just like, nah, I'm broken. Like, that got me. It got me real good.
Oh my gosh. So, speaking of tip of the hat, let's move on to our wonderful segment, tip of the hat, wag of the finger. You got a tip for us, Tony?
I got a tip. Wear more deodorant. How about that for everyone for a tip? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Speaking of Smash Brothers, I mean, it's a perfect tip.
No, my actual tip of the hat for the week is to Nintendo, and for just for getting all the characters in Smash, and a tip of my hat to all the companies that let their characters be in Smash. I don't know if the Street Fighter IP people are just like hanging on to their character, like, no, he's not going in, and just like, all right, let him in. Banjo-Kazooie, like Rare is just like, no, he's like all we have. It's just like, all right, let's like, tip of the hat to everyone for just like succumbing to what can only be so great if they allow it and put their, like, it's already great, but it just becomes the ultimate game when all these other companies say like, yeah, we'll contribute, we'll give you our best character. Like they all
Right.
just came together, and even though it's under Nintendo's brand, like they did something real special, I think.
And it is a mutual win. Like
It is
having
yeah.
your character in Smash, like even like in we didn't even mention like the me character costumes, which are costumes of characters from games that maybe just like aren't quite big enough to like earn a full character spot, but are still iconic in their own way. Like literally, like the indie scene, and you have like Shovel Knight and Sans as me costumes, and they even brought in like Megalovania, like the one of the best songs from Undertale, and put it into Smash. Like Undertale's in Smash. That's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, Undertale's great.
A whack of the finger to any company who doesn't want their characters in Smash. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, just
What are you doing?
what are you doing?
So I have a tip of the hat as well.
Let me hear it.
So I have a tip of the hat to video game developers that are basically making it okay to not play on the hardest difficulty. A lot of games that are coming out nowadays are coming out with game modes that are maybe like easier, but they aren't barring like story elements from it because you're playing on a lower difficulty, which listen, the phrase get good, I get it. And some games are designed to be hard, but not every game has to be Cuphead or Dark Souls. Not every game has to be so difficult to the point where you are ready to break a controller over a small child's head. Right? Like,
Christmas 2004.
never forget. Little Timmy, this episode's for you, buddy. But I mean, like not every game has to like induce rage. So I'm glad that a lot of developers are coming to terms with this, and I think it's a good sentiment to have in gaming, and video games should be as inclusive as possible. So saying like you're not allowed to play this game at all because you just don't have the coordination as like a video game guru master, everybody deserves to play a game,
Yeah,
especially if you paid $60 for the dang thing.
yeah. I mean, it's weird because the whole time you're saying that, I'm just like, yep, definitely. Like, equality is good, and you shouldn't be punished. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's like less of a punishment for players that don't want to commit all that anger and effort. Well, anger if you're bad like I am, but just like effort and time and dedication into a game. I think for the players that do want to put all of those things into a game, I think it's like more of a reward for them, but like I can't beat Halo on Legendary. I played a Halo Online,
No.
Halo 2, like so many hours. I've BXR'd a million kids. Like I've done like all the cool stuff like in middle school when I was like obsessed with that game, but I could never ever come close to beating it on Legendary. I probably couldn't even get past the first level on Legendary, you know what I mean? So like anyone that wants to put that amount of effort into something, like good for you, but but the developers shouldn't take anything away. Like there shouldn't be like, oh, you beat it on Legendary mode, or you get to find out that the next game Master Chief had a baby you didn't even realize unless you beat it on Legendary, because that's when they have the scene of him making love to Cortana, even though it's all a lie is basically what I'm saying. It's all
Right.
yeah it's all
But like Halo's like a perfect game to like bring this up with too, because like a lot of people do play a lot of these games for the story. And like Halo is a very like story driven game in its single player mode, and like that shouldn't be locked behind a skill wall per se. Like if you're paying to buy the game, you want to experience Halo, you shouldn't lose out because you're playing on a lower difficulty.
I
Plus,
agree.
like,
I agree
the lore of
wholeheartedly.
Halo. Wag of the finger, though, to anybody who disagrees with Tony or Bill ever, period.
Wag my fingers so damn hard, so hard.
But for real, my wag of the finger this week is actually going to go out to the Steam Deck for having a $250 anti-glare etched glass screen. $250 for a special screen? What? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
The website is zenny.com, Zenny with an I, and if you want the UV protection, I can almost promise you it's no more than $7 for a pair of glasses with UV protection.
Oh my god.
What is wrong with them? What are you thinking?
$250. $250. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, see that they're dumb. That's just ridiculous to me. That's like a real company wouldn't do that. You're not even like benefiting from that. Like they should just Nintendo's like, this is what we have. You want a different color or what? You want it or get out, you know? But they're not going to be like, I don't know, it takes them like years to come out with like an OLED or something, you know? Like they're just like, yeah, we have this. Yeah, we could have made it this good, but maybe not everyone wants it good. So you buy the regular one or, you know, a ridiculous amount of money for this. It's just like, who are you? Who are you?
Come on, Gabe Newell, owner of Valve.
More like Gabe Noodle.
Jeez, you got him so good.
I didn't even know that was the owner. That was right off the top of the head. That was nuts.
That was gonna be a wet noodle.
Come on, we're
hey
recording.
Tony, you got a wag of the finger for these people?
Nah, I'm in a good mood this week. I'm not really wagging too much. I can't. I mean, definitely the Steam Deck.
We wagged at Brawl pretty hard.
Yeah, Brawl. Yeah, but I now I feel bad. I like Brawl. I played a lot of Brawl. I got really mad at Brawl because I played with someone that made it hell for me, but that's not the game's fault. I had a lot of fun with Lucario in that game. I wasn't very good. I still like it. It's definitely the worst. I'm not gonna pick it as my wag of the finger, but I will hop on your train with the Steam pile of poop. And
got him.
Yeah, what's up? Sorry, I'm sure your console's great, but come on now, be realistic with your price. What is this?
Come on, it's a piece of glass.
Yeah, even the console, $400 for that, like, without the glass, like, that's pretty
big
egregious. Yeah, that's nothing. That's like, you can't just, like, enter the game and be like, yeah, I'm with Sony and Microsoft, I hang with them. It's like, maybe people think you do, but, like, not, you gotta talk, like, $150, you know. But I am gonna say, for all my market people out there, and I've been... I'm pretty bad with stock investing, but I'm good with game stuff, I think, because it's very simple. Everything keeps going up. I think that this is going to be something that may be worth something someday, which is a little vague, but I don't know. Something like this, it's like a first of its kind, I think. So I think it does have potential to later on be like, remember that stupid Steam system that came out? Yeah, it's like $1,000 now.
For a piece of glass.
Oh, if you want the glass one, it's like $4,000.
And if it's graded at 9.8 A++, that's $1.5 million.
That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do.
We've reached the point of the show where we must talk about our recommendations for the week and maybe any games that you've been playing this week. Let's start with any games you've been playing. Have you been playing any video games this week, Tony?
I've been playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! This week, to tell you the truth. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And a lot of Pokemon Go battling. Go Fest is tomorrow. We're recording this right before Pokemon's biggest annual event, Go Fest. And I've just been battling and, you know, getting prepped mentally for that. How about you?
I've been playing two games. So I played the demo for a game. It's an indie game that the demo is out on Steam right now. You can play it on your $650 Steam Deck if you want. It's called Born of Bread. It is a game that plays very similarly to Paper Mario. You play as a little loaf of dough, and you go around fighting things, and like it's a turn-based combat system with like action commands for the battles. It's very cute. It's very pretty. The game still definitely needs a little bit of work, but It's free on Steam. It's like about an hour and a half, 2 hour romp, and it's a fun little adventure. So if you like Paper Mario and you like paying $0 for a Paper Mario like experience, I would recommend going to play Born of Bread. And
Sounds
then
good.
there's it's pretty good. And then the other game I was playing was Super Mario RPG on my SNES Mini. And never mind, I got a wag of the finger. We're bringing it back.
Oh, sorry, we could
I'm
lower the
mad.
volume of that.
I'm mad, everybody. So, wag of the finger to the SNES Mini. So I was playing Mario RPG, and I got all the way to the third star in like maybe like a extended play, so like between like 2 playthrough sessions. Now, this game has save states built into the game, and you can like select a save state and either play it or save over it. So when I was done with my game session, I was like, let me create a save state because I'm in the middle of an area that doesn't have a save block. We'll go from there. Instead of clicking the replace button over an existing save state, I clicked select the save state. And when you do that, it totally disregards your previous save state and loads up the game. Now, the game's memory is based on what the most recent save state that you played is. And the save state that I had clicked on was a new game. So it was about 15 hours down the drain. I was so mad. I was like livid. I couldn't even like get myself composed. I was losing my mind. So wagging the finger to the Super NES Classic for breaking me.
That is awful. I'm sorry that happened. I'm laughing, but like I literally, when I'm playing like Fire Red, I'm like saving every like 4 minutes. I'm like, oh, I caught a sparrow. I got the trade done. I need that. So like just losing, like I'm one of those people that if I lose like 15 minutes of just like grinding Pokemon experience, I'm like kind of aggravated. I'm like, oh, I gotta go back and like relearn Ember at the beginning of the game, just whatever, but like 15 hours, oh, that would crush me.
Devastated, absolutely devastated. But here's what I'd recommend for the week. One, I'd recommend not saving over your own file with a save state. Second recommendation is something that I learned about actually earlier today, and this is Mario 64 blind speedrun. If you ever want to feel inadequate as a person or as a gamer and really just want to be put in your place and eat a slice of humble pie, I recommend you just go on YouTube and you search Mario 64 blindfolded speedrun, and you're going to see a person beat the whole game in like 2 hours using nothing but his ears, and I'm sorry, does all of the speedrun strats, and you're just like, there's what? I couldn't do 99.9% of this run by watching it and trying to repeat it. Like, it is that ridiculous. Like, how somebody does it blindfolded, I'll never know, but I am less of a person for having learned about it, and I highly recommend everybody just give it a watch.
I can't believe it. And like I did not even really know about it until you just said so. 2 hours worth of blindfolded gameplay, that is like unbelievable to me. That I can't even like conceptualize what that is. Like, that's just like, I'd be lost after a step.
Let me tell you, they beat King Bob-omb, which I'm like, they did a better job at beating King Bob-omb than I ever do.
Wow. Man, you think you're pretty good at something, and then someone just comes in and does that.
I will say, though, it is proof that if like gamers devoted that kind of time to like the goodwill of man, like cancer and world hunger would be like afterthoughts. I swear to God.
Can't
but
disagree.
instead we have blindfolded speedruns.
There are victors and there are losers in the world of creating things, I guess. and some of the winners include, delicious food, and some of the losers include, God's given berries, and Nintendo wins, and people that need water. Unfortunately, we should all be helping them more and be paying attention to things that matter. Of course, we could still make the most out of life and enjoy our games, but maybe, when we put the controller down and take the blindfold off, we make a small donation or something. Big shout out to Awesome Games Done Quick for all the money they donate to good causes. Tip of my hat.
That's literally where I watched it. I watched it was like a GDQ video.
I gotta watch that after this. I'm gonna go get some pizza and watch that. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your recommendation for the week?
Man, I put so much effort into that stupid list earlier. I really didn't want to do my homework with the rest of the stuff. My recommendation is, don't buy graded video games.
It's perfect.
That's it. Just don't buy them. It's a sham. It's just
Is it because it's what's on the inside that counts?
No. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Someone said to me one time, and this is a little breaking to people, but if you have a sealed game and you don't open it, how do you really know that the game's in there?
Whoa, we got Schrodinger's cartridge over here. Really makes you think, huh?
Yeah, Schrodinger's cottage.
Yeah, Schrodinger's cottage cheese. It's both delicious and disgusting at the same time. Don't know until you take that first bite.
Sounds like those Harry Potter beans. I don't know. It just made me think of that. But I do have an actual recommendation, and time is running out on this. I just realized maybe I could help some people that are football fans, as the Europeans would say it. If you like Cheez-Its right now, they have, you probably saw this in any store, the Cheez-It boxes, because I know you're buying them anyway. They have like a score-free MLS gear, like little thing that they're trying to add, that they're trying to run right now on the top of their boxes, or on the front, but at the higher part of the front. You know what I'm trying to say. And and I thought it was another sham. I was like, all right, this is dumb. I'm just going to buy my snack mix because it's so damn tasty. And I looked at the back, and it was like, yeah, if you just buy like 5 of the same product, they just have to be 5 different products. Take a picture of the receipt the receipts over the course of like 2 months, even though it's ending pretty soon in like a week or two. You just upload the receipt to like Kellogg's Rewards, and they literally give you a $50 gift card if you buy 5. And I did that, and I went on and it's only for the MLS store, but they literally gave me a $50 gift card to the MLS store. I went on there. They had some really nice like hoodie that was like normally $80. It was on sale for $40. After tax and shipping and handling, it was $49.97. I got that hoodie for free. I would have bought those damn Cheez-Its anyway.
Wow.
Those fools.
Wow.
I would have bought them anyway, but they gave me a free nice hoodie. Appreciate that. Recommend. Read the boxes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a nice win this week.
Well, Tony, thank you for hanging out today, and thank you all the listeners for hanging out with us for our wonderful, fantastic list of Super Smash Bros. Characters that Tony made.
Appreciate you.
Just honestly, just beautiful. But we really appreciate you guys listening to the show. If you're listening on YouTube, please drop us a like and comment what your favorite Smash character is or who you would want in the game. And if you listen to the podcast on like a podcasting platform, currently it's available on Spotify. We are working on getting it onto Apple and Google Podcasts as well. They might be there by the time that this episode's uploaded. But if you are on any of those, be sure to rate us and drop a comment, and we hope you guys continue to enjoy the show. For Tony, my name is Bill. You can find us on the internet. You can find me at Bill the Fajita on Twitter and Twitch, and you can find Tony at The Poker Rapper on Instagram.
Love you guys.
Talk to you next time.